Hello everyone, my name is Miracle and today I'm going to be taking you along for a day in my life as a project manager working from home edition. Typically what I do when I wake up in the morning is I like to wash my face, sometimes, as often as I can. And I'm using the TikTok famous CeraVe. Now I'm showered and ready, so I'm gonna do my makeup. So I'm done with today's attempt for makeup. I'm not great at it, I'm still working on it, but no matter how bad it is, I just put on my glasses and it all goes away. You can't see nothing, that's it. So my breakfast this morning is super basic. I'm just gonna have some cereal and get going on with the work day. So before I actually have my breakfast, I have these clothes that I sell on Depop that I have to package and send them. I'll give you a little tour of my workspace. So here I have my monitor that I got from work, and then I have my personal laptop, and I have my headphones, which are the Sony XM3s. Then I have this Logi mouse, and I have my chair, and I have my work laptop. So this is where I pretty much spend the rest of my day working. So usually at this point, this is where I get started with my work day. And so the first thing I like to do is to review my calendar. So just in case anything has been added from the night before or earlier on this morning. And it just allows me to know what kind of day I have ahead of me. So if it's going to be a high meeting day where I have to do a lot of prep, get my task trackers ready and all of that. Or if it's going to be a low meeting day where I don't have a lot of meetings, or I have meetings I just have to be in just for listening and taking down notes. I also reply to any urgent emails or messages that I've gotten on Teams just to get the day started and just to avoid people having to wait around for me if they need like some information urgently from me. The next thing I do is I usually add any tasks that I have to do into my calendar. This just makes it easier for me to set the tone for the day so I know what I'm doing and exactly when I'm doing it, and it just makes me a lot more productive. Another reason why I also do that is that it's very, very important as a project manager, because obviously you're managing different projects with their own budget codes. So when it comes to reporting my time, putting the times I'm working on each project into my calendar makes my time reporting at the end of each week easier. So that's what I'm going to spend the next about hour doing, and then we go from there. At this point in the day, just to give you an example of like what sort of things I'm doing in our company, we have some external suppliers coming in to do a build for a studio. I work in media and broadcasting, so they're coming in to do a build for a studio that's going to be eventually used for filming, and essentially I need to organize so that when they come they're able to kind of get to work quickly, but they need to obviously go through a bunch of stuff in terms of security. So I need to organize their passes, and I need to organize an induction training for them, so essentially make sure that all of it is set up. This is just another check-in just to kind of give you more information of what I'm doing, because otherwise it's just gonna be me working away on my laptop. So I've spent the last about hour and a half working on governance, and governance is more all about the paperwork when it comes to managing your projects. So this includes things such as your categorization of your project. Obviously projects vary in the size, the budget, the amount of people needed, so it's important that you categorize your project. If your project is larger, obviously you're going to need more people having visibility over it and more people to sign off on it. You also need to do things such as raising resource requests. Within our organization, we have different specialist specific roles, and so if you need that person's specialism, you essentially need to raise a resource request for them, because they might be working on other projects or maybe only have a specific amount of time to dedicate to your project. So you need to raise a resource request to make sure that they're allocated to you for the time that you need them for on your project. So that's just a bit of what the governance looks like. There's so many other aspects to it, and obviously it's going to vary depending on what your organization is. So some more time has passed and now I'm going on to raising POs for the services and goods that we need for this specific project that I'm working on. So POs are purchase orders, and essentially in business, when you want to purchase something, you basically get your quote from your supplier for the goods or service, and then you use that quote to raise a purchase order. That purchase order has to go through internal approvals from those who hold the budget. This then generates a purchase order number. You send this purchase order number to the supplier, and the supplier then supplies you the goods or service, and then send over that purchase order number with their invoice to your payments team, and that's how they get paid. So that's how it works in business. You get your goods or services first and then you pay them later, but the purchase order is essentially a guarantee that you're going to pay them for that goods or services they're providing. So I'm just going to fill up a bunch of the forms to get some purchase orders out for some goods and services. That's just an overview of what my day usually looks like. Some days are busier than others. Some days it's just in meetings, writing notes, chasing people, you know, getting stuff done, basically managing the project to make sure that it's essentially moving forward and it's going to get delivered on time, and managing your budget and all of that to allow the project to basically come to fruition. I'm going to have my snack for the day. I'm going to continue working on a few bits and pieces, but that's pretty much it for work. I'm going to ship out those orders that I told you about earlier on this morning. I didn't end up going in the morning. That's it for my day. Thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any more questions about project management, or if you'd like to see a day in my life kind of in the office, I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you again for watching, and I hope I see you in my next video. Goodbye.